Hello, Pastor Razor here, and I've got a special announcement. On June 5th, 2022, we will be having a special healing service at the Faith Place. That's right. On that day, the glory experience will be the healing experience. Now, let me give you a little background on this. When the Lord called me into the ministry, I was doing a lot of fasting, a lot of praying, and I'm just fasting and praying constantly, fasting and praying constantly. And once in the midst of my fast, the Lord took me into a place where sick people were at hospitals. And I asked the Lord a question, and I said, am I going to be sick, or somebody I know I was going, or if somebody I know is going to be sick? And I asked that question twice. And then I heard the Lord say to me, this is your ministry. And for me, it wasn't rocket science, right? When that happened, I said, well, the Lord is saying he's going to use me to minister and lay hands on the sick and they will recover. And the hospital has a lot of sick people, so I'm going to the hospital. So I went, signed up, became a volunteer at Cook County Hospital for years. And on, I'd work during the week, and on every Saturday, I'd go to the hospital and just pray for the sick. And the Lord gave miracles during that time, right? And recently, as a church, I opened my Bible, and there was a message in my Bible from one of the people whom the Lord had raised her mother from the dead in the county hospital I prayed for. And she was just, it was a note that saying, thank you for the prayer, and where's your church, and can we come? And my mama's now, she's out of the coma, she's off all of the machines, the doctors are amazed, and she wants to come to your church, right? And so it came up, and I didn't really understand why it came up. And that just all of a sudden this here note shows up in the Bible, right? And I kept going and continuing to seek the Lord, and would continue to go forward. And the Lord gave me a vision in prayer here recently that I went through that season, but that was my ministry. And so that'll never leave. And the Lord gave me a vision through here recently. And here, just for a moment here, why don't you take a moment and watch this video. It was in the morning service. I shared with our congregation the vision that the Lord had recently given me. And this was the week before Easter of 2022 this year. So watch this video real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay? Thank you. On Monday, really it was actually early Tuesday morning, I was in prayer. And I got up and I went into the room. I was praying. As I was praying, I saw a line of people. And the line of people, it stretched for blocks. And they was in a single file line. And it was as if I was hovering over it. The Spirit was taking me, and I was seeing it. And I looked at it and I said, this looks familiar. I've seen this before. It looked like the people that were standing in food lines. It looked like people were standing in food lines all the way. I mean, it was just as far as I could see, and as I was coming up, the Spirit was bringing me up. It was just people standing there, standing. And I said, oh, I've seen this before, food line. But when I got to the front of the line, it wasn't a food line. It was a single preacher praying and laying hands. And the Spirit said, science can't do it. The people are going to have to turn to the men and women of God. And they were standing, the line stretched as far as they could go, and they were all going to get a prayer, See, and the Spirit said, science, now, sometimes I just get overwhelmed, because I would have asked some other questions, but it just blew me away, because I didn't know then. After it was over and I was pondering, I'm thinking, well, is this talking about the pandemic? Is this talking about, didn't say. And if I'd have been in my presence of mind when it happened, I would have asked. But I didn't. But the Spirit said, science solve it. So people are finding now, look at this. They were passing, the line passed by lots of churches. A little preacher was standing there on the corner praying. People realized where they could get a prayer through. And they said, that's where they were going. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me here now. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me here now. They ain't talk to me. And that's where they were going. Just to be prayed for. These are unusual times. These are different times. You need to find yourself in God. Now, in that video, the Lord, I'm telling about the vision. The Lord showed me this line of people, and there was a little preacher at the front of the line just laying hands upon them and praying, and people were getting in the line to get prayer. And then the Spirit said to me, science can't do it. People are going to have to find a man or a woman of God, right? And I saw that little preacher. He was just laying hands and praying for people, and the line extended for as far as the eye could see. The line extended, right? And so I said, okay. I shared it with the church. Well, I went to Arkansas to visit my relatives, and while I was there, they were in the midst of the church there was in the midst of repairing the breach, revival. And I said, well, oh, good, this will be good. I'm going to go and enjoy the Lord with the people that I grew up with. But when I got there, they asked me to speak, so I spoke. But on the last night, I had noticed that while I was there, and excuse me, while I was there, every night they would roll this lady in a wheelchair, and then basically she was immobile, and they would roll in the wheelchair, and she would sit there in the wheelchair, and they would roll her out at the end of the service, roll out at the end of the service. On the last night, the Lord had me to pray for her, and as I prayed for her, I saw something happening, right? And you could see things were happening in her as I prayed. And that was on the Friday night. So Saturday morning, we wake up and we take off coming back to Chicago. It's an 8-hour drive, so we started driving. And about 2 or 3 hours into it, my phone rang, and it's the husband of the lady that I prayed for. And he said, man, I woke up this morning and I heard something, boom, I thought something was wrong. And I get up, he said, my wife's moving around, and she's not only moving, she's walking. He said, we're going to send you a short video of it, right? And he sent a short video of her walking, and she had went outside and she was in the fresh air moving. Then he sent pictures of her walking outside, and they were walking outside, and it was just great. And my wife looked at me and she said, oh, you remember the Lord said science wouldn't do it, but we're going to have to find people of God, men of God. Yes. And we were driving, and we were rejoicing too in that. And the Lord said, remember that vision I showed you? You are that man. You are that preacher, right? You are that preacher. And so we're going to take the healing message of the Lord to the people. And so on June 5th, we are having a special healing service, right? It's the healing experience. Now, the glory experience is becoming the healing experience on June 5th. We're going to pray for the healing and the health of the sick that arrive. And look, I've got 100 vials of oil that have been prayed over, and I'm going to pray over them all night again, that we're going to distribute to the people in the sanctuary on Sunday. So on that Sunday, June 5th, come out. Amen. We're going to be praying for the sick. And the Lord has said, if you pray for the sick, they'll recover. This is what I called you to do. So this is what I'm going to focus on, and this is where I'm going. So come out on Sunday, June 5th, to our special healing service. It's the healing experience at Faith Place Chicago. The glory experience becomes the healing experience. So I look forward to seeing you there, okay? God bless you. Bye-bye.